Sucker Punch just changed the game. If you thought your god tier archer build was safe, I have some bad news for you guys. But if you're a samurai or shinobi main, your time has finally come. We are looking at a massive balancing patch for Ghost of Yotei Legends that fundamentally shifts the meta. Let's go over all the changes that are taking place in this new patch. We are going to talk about significant nerfs to the infinite meta, huge buffs to legendary melee weapons, and even some secret quality of life updates that will change how you play the survival. Today, I'm breaking down every single node so you know exactly how to rebuild your characters for the nightmare missions. Now let's dive in. Before we get into the heavy combat changes, let's talk about the world updates. First, Watanabe Mode has been added to the lobby. So just like in the main game of Ghost of Yotei, you can use that mode now in the lobby before you queue in for the matches. Speaking of the lobby, they finally reduced the volume of the fox. If you have spent any time waiting for a match to start, you know exactly how loud that little guy was. Your ears can finally rest. But the biggest quality of life change is the second dodge roll. Everyone was asking for this. This will make a big change, at least for the start. In Legends, mobility is life. Previously, spamming rolls would lead to that slow roll penalty. Now you get 2 clean rolls before the penalty kicks in. This is a massive buff to survivability across all classes, especially when you're being cornered by an Oni. We also saw navigation improvements in the River Village survival map and a fix for gear cosmetics, resetting to default. You can finally show off your true drip without it glitching out mid-session. Next, we're going to talk about basically the death of the Archer meta. Let's address the elephant in the room. Archer mains. They have reduced the amount of ammo returned by resupply, Archer supplies, and empowered hunt. You can no longer just spam arrows and expect a full quiver back every few seconds. You have to be precise now. Next nerf is on your ultimate. This is a big one. They significantly reduced the spirit gained from the true aim Yumi disarm arrows and the skipping stone bow. These were the cornerstones of the infinite ultimate builds. You're going to find it much harder to chain those map clearing shots anymore. Last is damage tweak. So headshot damage for the true aim Yumi and the gun that is Tanegashima has been reduced. Does that mean the archer is dead? I don't think so, but the brain dead archer playstyle is gone. You now have to manage your resources and play mindfully. However, there is a silver lining. The Hankyu actually got a buff to his ammo capacity and damage. It looks like the devs want to see more variety in board choice rather than everyone just running the same two legendaries. Next is Rise of the Samurai and Shinobi. While the archer took a hit, the melee classes are eating good today. The samurai is finally leaning into that unstoppable juggernaut fantasy. We are seeing shorter cooldowns and longer durations for all class abilities, increased stagger damage, and the game changer, Samurai now gains extra spirit and ultimate charge just by staggering enemies. This is big, guys, because as you know, Samurai has to go through the defense, the whole stagger bar, before actually hurting the enemies or start making any sort of damage. Now, Samurai gains extra spirit and ultimate charge. I think with this patch, we are going to get more closer to what we had in Ghost of Tsushima Legends for our Samurai. I'm super excited for this one. I'm going to be leaning in a little more into this and finding out what build works the best now. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel, guys, and like this video. This also means if you're playing aggressively and breaking guards, you will have your ultimate ready faster than ever. It's no longer about just waiting for the archer to clear the way. The samurai is now a frontline engine, which is what we really wanted. We wanted him to be tanky as he used to be. So I think we are going to get strengths of samurai back. Next, we have the Shinobi update, which is the Shinobi had a bit of bug fix slash buff combo. They patched an exploit where Shadow Strike could initiate more attacks than intended. So this one is when you have selected Shadow Strike Vanish, where after using Shadow Strike, you can vanish for a short duration. This was glitched out. You could still get the benefit of Shadow Strike upgrade, where you get 2 additional strikes, but you will get Shadow Strike Vanish as well. They have finally fixed it. Now, that glitch where you jump off after your third strike will not work anymore. But it's all not bad. They also gave us something else in return, which is sprint during the ultimate. So you can now move at high speed while in your Shadow Strike state, where you would just jog before. Now you can finally run, which makes picking off high priority targets across the map much more viable. Next is Legendary Gear Overhaul. So this is perhaps the most exciting part of the patch. They didn't just tweak numbers, they made legendaries feel legendary again. First would be Thunderous Katana. This is now a S tier contender because it has 100% chance to throw enemies with Thundering Wave. This is massive for crowd control. If you guys remember, it used to be 30%, whereas now Katana spirit moves have a 100% chance to throw nearby enemies. So that's a really good buff for Samurai on his legendary Thunderous Katana. And next we're going to talk about Mountain Breaker, which now restores health on execution strikes. If you're running a high damage melee build, your sustain just went through the roof. Next we have our Lightning Bike dual katanas. They're going to be increasing the lightning strike damage. This is going to be the staple for the God of Fire Thunder build that I did on my channel. So now that build, guys, has gotten even better with this patch, with Lightning Bite doing much more damage on the Lightning Strike. Next we're going to get is Weightless Spirit. This was a fan favorite legendary in the last game, Ghost of Yotei Legends, which has finally returned to the pool, giving us even more build variety. Those of you who don't remember, this was a bow. When you have this equipped, your arrows won't descend. So even if you're standing too far from your enemy, your arrows won't descend anymore, which is pretty good if you're running that build. And I remember a lot of people liking this particular bow in the old legends that we had with Tsushima. So glad to see this return. Then there are some changes to the challenge cards and some rework done to the snake boss fight. Let's talk about the missions. The snake boss fight has been completely reworked. Oni summoners will no longer spawn during this phase. Instead, you're dealing with fallen lords. This changes the priority of the fight from clear the trash to focus on the elites. Also, check your challenge cards. They have added several new ones and removed the Ghost Health Slowly Drains card from the random pool. Thank God for that. That card was a run killer in random matchmaking, especially. Now, this patch is a clear signal from Sucker Punch that they want Legends to be more active and more diverse. The Archer meta is evolving in a way, and the melee meta is officially here. I'll be dropping a new Samurai build guide later this week to take advantage of these new stagger buffs, so make sure you're subscribed for that, guys. Now a question for you guys. Will you be sticking with the Archer despite the nerfs, or are you switching to a Thunderous Katana build? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button if this helped you out in any way, and I'll see you on the next one.